Yes, it's the expansion of South African ambassador to the United States of America. This comes after U.S. cut all aid to South Africa, and now it is expansion of South Africa ambassador to the United States of America. We don't know what is next, but all in all, what America is doing right now is to punish South Africa. The question here is, what is behind of this punishment, and what further action America will take against South Africa? Because we have been experiencing how Africans or African countries are being punished by Western power. You remember what happened to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe was punished after Mugabe took the land, you see, and the Western power sanctioned Zimbabwe, tried to collapse the economy of Zimbabwe. We remember what happened to Libya when Gaddafi came with the idea of single currency, united Africa with single army. What happened to Libya? What happened to Gaddafi? I think the Western, they don't want Africans to own our resources. South Africa to take back the land, I think it is not a sin. It is not a bad thing, because this land was owned by Africans. So to say this was our land is not bad. We take what is ours. The land was owned by Africans, and right now, the grandchildren, they have decided to take back the land. And that's why our founding fathers, our freedom fighters fought for the land. We didn't fight for flags, we fought for the land. And right now we are saying we are going to take back the land. Then Trump saying, you are not going to take the land. You are going to be punished. You are going to get consequences. How this comes while we are taking what is ours? I think Trump must understand this is our homeland, this is our land. And of course, it's not about Trump. It's about the issue of Africans owning resources. You know, I've been saying this many times, in the land that owned by white South Africans, in the land that own minerals. The land has minerals, has resources, has potentials. So it means to allow the land maybe to be owned by Africans, it means you are allowing Africans to own mines, Africans to own agriculture, Africans to own resources, the things that they don't want from us. And that's why I said, you remember what happened to Gaddafi. Gaddafi when said, we want to have our own currency as African, backed by our minerals. You see, Gaddafi said, we want a united Africa with single army, with single leader or single president. What happened to him? Go to Mugabe. You remember when Mugabe took the land, there was those who said maybe he didn't distribute equally the land to the Africans. That is another issue. But the issue here was how Mugabe took the land. He took the land because the land was owned by Africans. So when it comes to Africans to reclaim our own things, it looks like Africans will become enemies. So the Western power, they don't want Africans to take what is their own. They want Africans to remain in difficult lives, difficult conditions. They try to give us bad names. We are racist, or we are doing this and that. But all in all, we are undemocratic. The thing that is not true. What South Africa is paying for is because South Africa took Israel to International Court of Justice. Also, South Africa is a member of BRICS. We know that BRICS has idea to create their own currency. So that the thing that I think Mr. Trump thought that maybe this currency will replace the US dollar, the thing that America don't want to see. And that's why you see South Africa is paying the price. But what as the continent we are going to do to South Africa? What if South Africa is going to be invaded militarily? Are we prepared to protect South Africa, or we will keep silent the way we did to Mr. Gaddafi, or the way Zimbabwe was punished? What are we going to do as the people of Africa? And that's why I can conclude by saying that here is the point where Africans, we need to come together. Yes, it is South Africa which is now is going to be punished. The next, it will be maybe your country or my country. I don't know. But remember that these powerful countries, they don't have permanent friends. They don't have permanent love with African countries. What they want, they have their own permanent interest. So if we think maybe we are safe, they'll come to us. They started to Zimbabwe and other African countries. They went to Libya. They went, now they are in South Africa. We have heard about some stories about Rwanda. They are trying to sanction Rwanda, trying to punish Rwanda because of minerals in DRC. You see, they will come to others. I think if it is a time for Africans to protect our dignity, I think it is right now by coming together. You know, we have been saying this. Sometimes people don't understand why we are insisting unity among ourselves. Because as individual countries, you cannot fight America. As an individual countries, you cannot challenge America. It needs all of us as a continent to come together to challenge those who are trying to undermine our sovereignty. And that's what countries in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso did. They decided to come together to form their own federation to make sure that we are going to defend our sovereignty. They expelled France, they expelled these foreign troops, they closed America drone base, and they said we are going to fund our own things. You know, sometimes many of us, I know many of our countries, they depend on aid, and that's why they feel if you touch the supply of the aid, you touch America, you're going to lose aid. But all in all, for how long we'll continue to depend on America's aid? You see, today South Africa is suffering because of those dependence. I think, but South Africa has minerals, has resources. Do you think it is right for South Africa, the country that has uranium, lithium, has chrome, and many kind of gold, platinum, to rely on America's aid? Why don't South Africa use platinum, gold, and other metal or other minerals to fund their health systems? Why? It's because those resources are not owned by South Africans. Those resources are owned by others, minority. We want resources to be owned by majority so that the majority can benefit. And that's why South Africa is insisting to take the land back to the rightful owners. But all in all, it needs all of us, the people of Africa, to come together. Without coming together, without uniting, without supporting one another, we are going nowhere. We'll be punished one by one, and we are going to say nothing. So, up to that, my dear lovely family, dear friends, fellow Africans, if you have anything to add, please do so through the comment section, and also share the video to others who are here in the continent and to those who are in the diaspora so that they can understand what is going on right now in our mother continent, Africa. But don't forget to tell your fellow Africans that this is the time for us to come together to unite. Yes, we differ, maybe from geographical areas, but remember that we are Africans. We need to work together. We need to protect one another. We need to support each other so that we can move together without left anyone behind. Our future is better, and we must build the better future for our mother continent, Africa. Thank you.